Hello. Good morning. It is Friday morning, um, April 18th, 2025. It is 9 months since the last song review. So we're here once again to talk about Hail Your Highness. The song is You Again. And just off the top, um, if you're fans of artists like Tonight Alive, specifically the song Crack My Heart, or Beartooth with their song Attention, or even a new song I heard yesterday, Farah with her song Notches. This is the artist and this is the song for you. You Again is about religious trauma, 20 years of religious trauma. And so I thought I'd start this review with a bit of my religious trauma. A member of my immediate family has always felt as if she was running from the divine, running from God, if you will, and just like ignored him, I guess I would say, in her specific case, ignored him for quite some time, or rather ignored calling to spread the gospel, preach the word and such. And so when I was in middle school, I think she started going to she went back to school. She went to seminary to pursue her master's degree, and it took her, I want to say, about 6 years. So yeah, I had to have been in at least seventh grade when she went to school. And we were attending this non-denominational Christian church for quite some time. And at least in seventh grade, especially speaking, I was just in a pit of despair. And so I had a lot of pride in this specific congregation. I felt safe, I felt seen, and I was pretty crazy back then. But even in the eyes of the divine, like, too cringes to be human. But that's neither here nor there. Anywho, my family member got her degree and was so excited because she's like, oh, now I can really do what I've always been meant to do in a church that I love. But as it turned out, this specific congregation did not ordain women. And after all these years, it's still just it makes me angry to know that you're smiling in my family's face week after week, asking how school is going. Because what else would she be talking about at church besides the goodness of God? But oh, I'm studying this on a consistent basis. Anybody can volunteer and serve in the church, but not everybody can preach the word. And I don't appreciate that. What's even the degree for? Can't even actually do the work or do the thing you were trained to do. A lot of people don't go to school to preach the word. They just they just hear the call and they serve, depending on your specific denomination or other stuff. But again, just that ordeal taking place in my home just set me down a path of deconstruction. And these days, instead of identifying as a devout Christian, I identify as an agnostic individual. After everything that I've seen and bore witness to, I'd be a fool to think that there isn't some kind of divine presence in this existence we call life. But I don't think the Christians are right, because not enough of them are doing the work. And if you've been outside or watched the news recently, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the music. I listened to You Again by Hail Your Highness at least 4 times, interspersed between some of their earlier work like New Vengeance, Dear Reader Part 2, and Take Me Up, Cast Me Away. Yo, Hail Your Highness is such an underrated band. They've put in so much work over the last, 8 years or so. They really deserve your support, your financial support. They were kind enough to send me a private link on Bandcamp. And that's how I had a chance to check out the song. And usually when I get a song that I really like, I listen to it once because I'm trying to savor the enjoyment of the song. Because, when you work in a retail environment like mine, it's easy for a song you really care about to just it's easy to resent a song that you care for a lot when you hear it like, you know, week after week, day by day, year by year, month by month. But no, no, I didn't listen. I didn't because I'm sure for some people who review music like for a living or something like that, re-listening to songs can be a chore. This was not a chore. I wrote it away, and I already cannot wait to like share with other friends who are just like passionate for this like specific style of dream rock. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you folks. I took a look at my last review for Hail Your Highness, and I'm like, dang, this is kind of an essay. I think I'm probably just gonna do like a bare bones outline and just like, you know, follow the vibe. So like I hope that this kind of like casual off the cuff review is like not boring y'all or anything like that. If you go to the band's Instagram, you'll see like an advertisement for the music video which came out 5 minutes ago. If you go to the description, you could, I don't know, pause this review and check out the song for yourself. And I'm sure a lot of work went into the visuals. So please look at it, please like it, please leave a nice constructive comment. But again, if you go to Instagram and see like the I guess the advertisement that's pinned to the top of their account, you can see in the bottom right that you can stream this song on Bandcamp, on YouTube or YouTube Music, Apple Music, and Tidal, but not on Spotify. And I would think that it happens to have to do with the fact that, well, the alleged fact that I'm not trying to get litigated by Daniel Eck. Man, fuck you, Daniel. Spotify went out of their way to flag and take Dandelion, the last song that I reviewed by this band, at least twice. And that is you can't help but think that it's specifically like, you know, like targeting this act with like almost 3,000 monthly listeners. What's that about? It's embarrassing, it's insulting. And again, for a band that sounds this good to be like this underrated, who then be like barely compensated when like again the CEO of that specific DSP is a billionaire, leaves a very like gross taste in my mouth. It leaves the same kind of taste in my mouth that I felt when knowing my family member wouldn't be able to do what they love most of all after spending all that time studying, writing all these papers, translating Greek and Hebrew and all that stuff. It's inexcusable. I won't lie to you. I've used Spotify since 2011, 2012 maybe, I think. And it is extremely difficult to just kind of like untangle myself from their web. But more and more folks are just like saying they've had enough. And I would encourage you to do so now if you haven't like, I don't know, made any financial commitments to like the particular app, you know? What exactly are they doing to like, you know, like, because yes, it's the convenience of like pressing a few buttons and hearing any song you want for the most part, but lose a little something when the people we care about are like, you know, putting body and blood into this music with almost nothing in return. So please bear that in mind as you like continue to enjoy the song, like, you know, like engaging in like with the music and like reaching out to people you care about via word of mouth and not just via like DMs on social media and things like that. And speaking of social media, it is I listened to the song on April 17th, and in a month you can if you're in Michigan, you can see Hail Your Highness perform live at the Rooftop Rock Concert via GT Vinyl. They're playing a gig with you know who, Spuddies, the American Hotel System, The One Divided, and Dude Man Sir. So if you want to check out some bands, you know, get a bite to eat, like, you know, like be outside with folk, check that out. There is a if you click on the link tree for Hail Your Highness, there's an ad there that you can read and get more information on. Go to the show, have a good time, and you know, just like thank the band in person for just like creating such an enjoyable song. A big shout out to Nikki, Jesse, and Brian. Who else can I shout out real quick? A big shout out to Threshold Studio. Who else can I shout out? Shout out to you for taking the time to listen to me talk about this really cool song. Shout out to that airplane flying above my home. Again, I won't take much more of your time. Do calls to action here, you know. So it wouldn't be a Chris Kennard dream without some calls to action. As per usual, when you listen to me speak, I'll encourage you all to hydrate yourself. Drink some water when you start your day, drink some water when you end your day, water your brain, drink water at the gig, buy a stranger some water while we still have opportunities to drink clean water. In addition to clean water, let's breathe some clean air, wear a mask when you leave your crib, protect yourself, protect your friends, protect your family, protect the children, protect the elderly, protect your neighbors, at the privilege. So protect, preserve your body if you're able to do so in a constructive way. I'm sure that once you're done listening to this review, you're going to get up, go to the restroom, floss, brush your teeth, splash some water on your face. You're going to have to look yourself in the eye. And I'd like you to, and when you're looking yourself in the eye, I'd like you to say, I love you to yourself. If for any reason that's difficult for you, trust me, I understand. Please know that I, Chris Kennard, love you in the most platonic and supportive way possible. That's it. That's the review. Give this song a couple spins, like say a playlist or two. And thank you for your time. Hail your highness, you again. I'm not doing that needle drop. I'm not stealing Anthony Fantano's bit. That's not happening. But no, thank you. I'll see y'all sometime soon. Have a good weekend. Chris Kennard out.